Talk about the film, please welcome Sanford, Assad, and director Neill Blomkamp.
Thank you, Yoshida-san. It's great to be here. Sony Pictures Entertainment has more than 10 projects in development and production with PlayStation Productions between the film and television groups. With Uncharted surpassing 400 million at the global box office, we're pretty energized about where the genre is heading. And now we've got an incredible action-adventure based on Gran Turismo, which we've been working on with our partners at PlayStation Productions. Assad, tell us.
Yeah, no, well, first of all, it's been an absolute pleasure partnering with our sister company at Sony Pictures. So we're excited about what's in store for Gran Turismo, which is hitting theaters this summer. It's a property that revolutionized the racing game genre by simulating the most authentic driving experience.
Visionary filmmaker Neill Blomkamp is pushing the boundaries of big screen movie making with state-of-the-art technology, making the game and real worlds collide in what we think will be an electrifying film that reflects the emotion of racing. But what's interesting is this is not a typical game-to-film adaptation. Assad, tell us more about that.
Absolutely. This is why we're thrilled about this film. It's a film that takes the high stakes, the adrenaline-filled racing simulation game, and combines it with the ultimate wish fulfillment tale of how a teenage Gran Turismo player went from a gamer who's playing in his basement with his parents and becoming a real-life professional race car driver. And it's a story that revolutionized the racing world. And we're absolutely thrilled at PlayStation that someone like Neill, as talented as Neill, came aboard to direct.
We all were. Neill, thank you for being here. I know you literally flew in straight from the set. We just finished shooting just the other day. So can you talk briefly about what it was like for you adapting this big IP?
Well, I mean, the thing that was immediately captivating about it was the fact that for someone who's as interested in video games as I am, to read a script that was a true story that organically connected straight into the video game. The character was a real person, it was a super emotional story, and the game itself is interwoven in a way that I couldn't believe. And then the second thing was just that I love cars, and it was this opportunity to shoot like high adrenaline car photography in a way that really excited me. So I just, I needed to sign on.
And from what we've seen so far, you've really done just that. What's cool is that Sony Technologies, really were very supportive of the film in terms of providing technology. Tell us about using that technology in the film.
Well, I mean, there were, the main thing really that was a huge benefit to us was, the Sony Venice 2 camera has a detachable sensor, which is it's called the Rialto, and we used the Rialtos all over the inside of the cars, in the cockpits, in spaces that typically you could never get an IMAX resolution sensor into those kinds of spaces. So the Le Mans prototype cars that we were filming in the third act in the film have a tiny, tiny cockpit, and we needed to be able to shoot left to right, right to left for race footage, and then neutral, all right up with the actor. So we had these tiny sensor blocks in there with small lenses right by the actor, and then all of the cables running back to the bodies that we could store anywhere we wanted on the car. And then for exterior photography, you can get into places and position them because they're so light in places that we could actually simulate the Gran Turismo angles, like the famous grill angle when you're racing, the POV angle inside the car, which again, because of confined spaces, you couldn't do normally. And then finally, the third-person POV behind the car. We had a tiny Rialto camera on an arm that gave us a POV that was, highly unusual.
Well, I know from seeing the dailies, it looks pretty extraordinary, and we're really excited. So, Assad, I know from making Uncharted together that PlayStation has some unique considerations when adapting a game to a film. Maybe a little bit about that.
No, absolutely. It's a great question. So when we look at adapting a game IP to the big screen, we carefully consider how do we appeal to both long-term fans of the games and newcomers. And so we balanced that with Uncharted, and I think we were very successful and very excited about that. And now with Gran Turismo, we feel it has all the elements to do that as well. It has this incredible, compelling, true story. It has this on-screen experience that elicits the same emotional ride that gaming gives you and also racing gives you. And for PlayStation, we really wanted the spirit and the energy of the game to be captured. And again, Neill was the perfect filmmaker to do that. And also a fan of the game, which helps.
Massive fan of the game.
That's right. Agree. We all were thrilled. We're also really excited that the world is going to get to see the film when it releases worldwide on August 11th.